Something seismic happened in American politics last night, and the mainstream media is already trying to bury it. Republicans didn't just win, they dominated. They obliterated. In Virginia, a GOP candidate just doubled Trump's margin in a district that was already red. Progressive insurgents got annihilated in their own Democrat primaries in Illinois. And in Pennsylvania, Republicans kept right on winning. The left is losing, not just to Republicans, but to itself. Stick me to the very end of this video because I'm going to show you exactly what happened, why it matters, and why the structural collapse of the woke left is not just a trend, it's a permanent reckoning. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, celebrating yet another glorious day in the Trumpian golden age that you made possible back in November of 2024. So if you want a front row seat on how you continue to change the world in ways you never even imagined, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, as you know, so many of the stories breaking right now, both here and around the world, are the very ones that the legacy media is burying as fast as they can. What they're not telling you is exactly what I cover every day in my Patriot Alerts. Free, uncensored, straight to your inbox. Sign up for free by clicking on that link down below. All right, we had a number of special elections across the country yesterday, and the pattern was the same in every single one of them. Republican candidates won, and woke, progressive, far-left lunatics went down in flames. They literally got wiped out. Let's start in Virginia because this special election was absolutely huge. Republican Andrew Rice absolutely crushed his Democrat opponent in the special election for Virginia's 98th House District in Virginia Beach in Southern Virginia, capturing nearly 63% of the vote to the Democrats' 38%. And the key here is that this was a massive overperformance from November of 2025, their last elections there. So the Republican then, Barry Knight, who won that seat in 2025, but who unfortunately died and opened up the seat, he won the same seat with 57% of the vote. So we're seeing a huge increase to the 63%. And Rice significantly outperformed Winsome Sears in this red district by upwards of 23 points. She won the district by 7 points, while Rice crushed it by double digits. In fact, he even outperformed President Trump. District 98 was a Trump plus 14 district in 2024, and Andrew Rice won by more than 28 points, signifying a 14-point overperformance. He doubled President Trump's margin. So this is a huge result for the Virginia GOP because it's all happening just weeks before a high-stakes April 21st special referendum in which Virginia voters will decide whether to approve a constitutional amendment allowing the Democrat-controlled General Assembly to redraw congressional district maps mid-decade, a move that could shift Virginia's delegation from its current 6 Democrat to 5 Republican split to an ridiculously lopsided 10 Democrat to 1 Republican split. Republican voters are coming out en masse to crush this referendum in the early voting. Here's a sample of the deep red counties' turnout thus far. So, for example, Scott County is showing a voter turnout increase of 181%, with the county on pace to reach 193% turnout by the time this is done. Buchanan County is approaching 172% turnout from this time, from the last election. And you can just go down the list and you see red county after red county coming out en masse, overperforming here to defeat this referendum. And I want to say it is certifiably criminal that the national GOP has not poured money into this effort to defeat this referendum. It is very clear that this redistricting referendum has awakened a sleeping giant, a deep red giant throughout Virginia. And if the National Republican Party does not pour money into that effort, whoever's running things there should be fired immediately. Mike Whatley, who was running it, he was co-chairing it with Laura Whatley. They were running the RNC. He's running for the Senate in North Carolina. So I don't know who's calling the shots at RNC, but whoever's in charge, you don't pour money in this race, you should be, to defeat the referendum, you should be fired immediately. Both the turnout and the special election together suggest that Virginia patriots are indeed holding the line against this ridiculous power grab by the Democrats. But as it turns out, what's happening in Virginia is just par for the course for what happened in special elections all across the country. The GOP won two more special state house seats in Pennsylvania. All the while, woke progressives got absolutely crushed in their Democrat primaries. Have you seen this now? The far left progressive wing of the Democrat Party suffered a number of sweeping defeats throughout the state of Illinois in their Democrat congressional primaries across all four major races. So this is for the 2nd, 7th, 8th, and 9th congressional districts. Radical leftists were completely routed, with moderates and more establishment-aligned candidates winning in nearly every contest. Most notably, do you remember this lady? She was one of the anti-ICE protesters in Chicago who effed around and found out. She's a lady by the name of Kat Abogazala. How's that for a last name? As you can, she got body slammed by federal agents when she tried obstructing ICE. She just brutally lost her primary election for Congress in Illinois in their primaries there. And the results are being read as a major warning sign for the broader national strategy of far-left, progressive woke insurgencies throughout the country heading into the 2026 midterms. This tweet really brings it home. It's a tweet from the Democrat Congressman Ro Khanna, right, Tom Massey's best friend. He's endorsed all 5 of these candidates, these woke left-wing candidates. Every single one of them lost last night. Every single one. By contrast, President Trump endorsed 3 candidates in the special elections yesterday, and of course, all 3 cruised to victory. So there does appear to be a far left fatigue, even inside the Democrat Party. There's far left fatigue in Virginia with their white witch governor, Abigail Spanberger, the Burgermeister Meisterburger. There's far left fatigue in Pennsylvania. There's far left fatigue in Illinois. And again, there's good reason for that. That fatigue is actually built into the far left progressive cake. Woke progressivism actually entails its own demise. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Now, did you know that Alzheimer's isn't waiting for old age anymore? It's spreading, it's accelerating, and it's showing up decades earlier. Early onset dementia and Alzheimer's are on the rise. Reports show a 373% increase in diagnoses among 30 to 44-year-olds and a 311% increase in 45 to 54-year-olds in the United States in recent years. But when doctors attempt to treat these brain diseases, they often focus on medicating the brain itself, addressing symptoms like Band-Aid rather than solving the root cause. Alzheimer's disease is driven by chronic inflammation and oxidative stress, which damages brain cells and triggers the buildup of toxic proteins. Now, these same destructive processes fuel neurodegeneration, cognitive decline, and even increase cancer risk, yet they're rarely the primary target of treatment. The root cause of many brain disorders is found in the gut microbiome. Groundbreaking research now links gut bacteria directly to Alzheimer's disease and shows that what we consume plays a defining role in not just cognitive but overall health as well. Numerous studies suggest that the number one thing you can do to combat these chronic diseases is to consume kimchi. There's so many bioactive compounds in kimchi that have been found to improve cognitive and memory function by targeting amyloid beta. That's the main sign of Alzheimer's disease that forms those sticky plaques in the brain. Notably, these same protective mechanisms are linked to reduce cancer risk with kimchi's ability to suppress carcinogen activating enzymes. So that's why Brightcore created Kimchi 1. It delivers all the benefits of real kimchi in convenient capsules. No taste, no smell, and no GMO. 100% made right here in the United States. Today you can get an exclusive offer by clicking the link below for 25% off your entire order, or for the best deal available, call my friends at Brightcore for up to 50% off plus free shipping. You'll love them. Call them now at 888-597-0233. That's 888-597-0233. Call them right now. There are three main reasons why the woke left is ultimately losing and why the populist right is winning. And not just winning here in the States, but all over the world, particularly in Europe. The first reason involves what some analysts have called the political sweet spot. So the populist right candidates have pivoted left on economics while pivoting right on culture. And that combination has proved almost impossible to beat. Trump has embraced tariffs, infrastructure spending, protecting Social Security, reshoring manufacturing, courting union workers, right? Positions historically aligned with FDR, New Deal Democrats. But on culture, on immigration, the border, CRT, gender ideology in schools, and transgender, he's solidly on the right. So that combination is where the working class lives. It's why Trump shattered the old partisan map, winning Hispanic voters in South Texas, union households in Michigan, working class black men in Philadelphia. Democrats cannot mirror that move. Their activist base would tear them apart if they pivoted right on culture. So they're literally trapped in their wokeness, which then leads to the second reason they're collapsing. Woke issues split the left and unite the right, right? We talk about this all the time on this channel. Woke issue, you take any woke issue, it always splits the left but unites the right. Study after study shows that when you poll self-identified liberals on any woke issue, transgender ideology in schools, critical race theory, defunding the police, those issues consistently split the left-wing coalition internally. Half the left is all for it. They support it. But the other half, the Bill Maher half, despises it. By contrast, the right is virtually unanimous in opposition to all things woke. So that means there will always be more people to vote against a woke issue than vote for it. Always. So wokeness is pure political suicide. And then thirdly, and most far-reachingly, demographics. The reason why the left is imploding ultimately is because liberals are literally disappearing. And that's not hyperbole. Liberals have largely stopped having kids. Conservative women, by contrast, are having more kids than ever. Conservative women have a 30% fertility advantage over their liberal counterparts. Self-identified liberals are more than twice as likely to be childless. And conservative children, particularly religiously conservative children, generally retain their parents' conservatism into adulthood. So this fertility discrepancy is so significant that the demographer Eric Kaufman predicted that the culture wars would begin tipping decisively in favor of conservatives by the year 2030. And lo and behold, if you've been watching the projected reapportionment based on the 2030 census, red states are poised to pick up at least 12 more electoral votes, while blue states are losing just as much. The shift is so significant that the Republican presidential candidate could lose all three blue wall states, right? Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, and still win over 270 votes. Put those three together, the economic cultural sweet spot the left can't match, the woke wedge that splits the left and unites the right, and the fertility gap literally shrinking the liberal population, and you have a structural explanation for why the populist right is winning all over the world. Not just winning one election, winning back our respective nations and our cultures permanently.